It's now time for our creature presentation. Creature. Coming straight from your weave nest. Coming straight from your weave nest. He's the one. The king of schizophrenic and never sane. You can't get this from the void. The sensation of your screen. The channel that makes you... Say it with him, folk. This is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking... Hello everyone, this is Tollwarden. I have returned home from my hiatus. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I was on a vacation. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, Loam, Tollwarden, taking a break? Crazy. I know I'm getting into this before we get into the actual topic of this video, but yes. Recently, I've decided, I could have grinded out a couple videos, keep you guys tided over till I got back, but I didn't want to get burnt out. So I'm going to take more breaks, probably around every month, every so often, and just, kind of let the channel relax a little bit, because nothing really happened while I was gone. I mean, I was worried that me not being here would cause the channel to kind of go under, but I gained subscribers, probably because EO started drawing pictures of Satan Loam, whatever they're doing. I'm gonna see some horrible stuff eventually, but that's okay, because that's what the channel is. Will I post it? Probably not. Probably, if it gets a little too extreme, probably not, because YouTube won't like that. But, yes, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. It was nice seeing you. It is nice seeing you. Well, let's get into the actual topic of this video. So, I got a bunch of friends. We got Menace, we got John, we got Glove. They're the three big friends. And we play games a lot, just every so often. I play with Glove the most, and I play with the other two. Very rarely, but those times are always special. And I have stories for you guys about the sheer stupidity that we always get up to. Because if you think I'm chaotic, if you think I'm stupid, just wait till you multiply that by 4. We're never in the same lobby. I don't think I've ever gotten everyone into one group. But, yes. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be telling you stories of shit that has happened. And, you're just going to be here for it. So, hello. Now, you might be thinking, oh, with that name like the Potheads of Chivalry, you might have been smoking a little bit of that hoo-ha. You're fang-dangling the fingle-dangles, if you understand what I'm saying. Getting a little bit of the schlingle-bongle-slinks. But no. This is a completely different story that happened pretty late at night. So, it was me and Glove. We hang out a lot. And it was around 3 a.m. It was over the summer. And he came up to me. I was getting ready to shoot one of the enemies because it just respawned because I just got an axe shoved so far up my back of my ass that I kind of looked like a Marmalade character. Nigel Marmalade. You guys know Nigel Marmalade? Love that shit. It's made by Tom Bates. Go check it out. It's a really good animation. It's crazy how much he produces. But, yeah, I kind of died, and so did he. And he was like, wait! I have an idea! Toll! I have an idea! And he came up to me. And for every chivalry player there is in my chat, if you know the level known as the Raising of Askendir, this is going to make a lot of sense, but if you don't know, stick around. So, he came up to me and said, dude, I have such a smart idea. I said, yeah? Well, we're Tenosians, right? We're playing as the Tenosians, right? The people defending Askendir. I went, yeah? He said, what if? What if we go out of bounds during the toppling of the columns and we break the pots? So when we get in there to burn the books, there's no pots to put the water out. And I paused a minute. I lowered my bow. I'm like, that's genius. That's so intelligent. That's so smart of you, Glove. I've never heard anything smarter. And so we decide, okay, alright, fuck it. We'll piss on these guys later. And we decided to get our fang dangles and we went out of bounds. Now, Raising of Askendir, a little bit of context. So, you got the Masons and the Tenosians. The Masons are kind of meant to be like Vikings, pagans, old England type of stuff. And the Tenosians are meant to be like, what was being invaded during the Crusades? Whatever that place was, the Holy Land. Oh my god, who was defending the Holy Land? Oh no. We were meant to be those guys, right? We're based off of, the Tenosians are based off of that. Well, we were playing as Tenosians, and the Racing of Ascandir is a pretty interesting level, because Ascandir is basically the Library of Alexandria, and it belongs to the Tenosians. So we get back there. It took us like 2 or 3 tries to do it, and we start breaking every single pot we find, throwing it. We'd kill ourselves, because if you're out of bound too long, you stab yourself and then you respawn. And we would go back and forth about 3 or 4 times while everyone else was fighting. No one seemed to notice. And we get in there, and suddenly the enemy starts pushing towards the library. They manage to topple the columns. They're getting ready to destroy the artifacts. And realization hits Glove before it hits me. He slow turns towards me and says, Wait! Toll! We're so fucking stupid! We need the pots! And we just slow looked at each other before we left the game. So, you have to use the pots to break the water. To break water over the library books to keep the masons from burning it. And we were so confident that us going back there to break our own pots was going to do something good, that we completely ruined it for the rest of the team and we left. It was horrible. But yeah, that's what we did. We broke all of the pots, and our team was doing pretty well defending until they got to the library. I spectated a little bit, and yeah, it was bad. They couldn't find pots anywhere. They were so confused what happened to all the pots, they thought it was a bug. No, it was it's our fault. So this next story takes place with Menace, and the thing is, Menace, bit of an antisocial person. No offense, Menace, if you're even watching this, which is highly unlikely. Menace is a busy person. He's got shit going on all of the time. But when I do get into play, it's always too early in the day or Glove is busy, so we never get into the same lobby that we've always wanted to. And Menace just got into Deep Rock Galactic. Now, I love Deep Rock Galactic. I have like 2-week spurts of it, kind of like Minecraft. And I just so happened to be on my spurt of Deep Rock whenever he was getting into it. So it's like, oh, okay, well, Menace can't be that bad at it. He likes fucking Pizza Tower, so I imagine he's somewhat good at the platforming required to do a little bit of Deep Rock. You kind of do a little jump, kind of do a little jump-a-rooney. You flingle your dangle all around, you know, that type of shit. You're bingus bongus, if you understand. And well, we managed to get in there, and I was like, okay, man, where do you want to go? And we ended up going to like that mushroom biome with the exploding mushrooms. It's got like cobwebs everywhere. The mushrooms are white. And he was really excited. It's like, man, this is my first game. And he was playing as engineer, and I was playing as driller. Now, he's never played it before. He's level 1 engineer, and there's a tradition among us where whenever one of us is introducing another one of us to a game, we have to take them on a high difficulty without them knowing. So I took them to difficulty 4. And he was really confused why there was a swarm happening so early. And I was like, oh, that's just part of the game. Yeah, this is a swarm game. And I tell him I'm just going to dig a hole and we're going to go towards the objective. We were doing hunting dreadnoughts. Yeah, his first mission I ever took him on was a dreadnought mission. And I start digging into the wall. And he puts down his turret. He figures it out pretty quickly. And I just start digging while he manages to try and defend the entrance to the tunnel with his turret. Well, as I'm going, he says, Hey, Toll, I hear something. I said, it's fine. Just keep firing your gun. Nothing can get you. And followed by another weird groan that I wasn't exactly sure what it was at the time, but I just kind of ignored it and I kept pushing on. Well, let me know. Let me tell you something. Right beneath where I was digging, where I was drilling into the wall, there was a cave, a pretty big cave beneath us, and I didn't know it at the time. And you know, Menace runs up behind me. He goes, dude, something isn't right. Something's about to happen. I said, what? And I turn around, I start drilling, and it's quiet for a second. Before all of a sudden I hear, ah! Oh my God! What is that thing? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I turn around and there's a giant hole in the ground in our little tunnel. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Before I realized what happened. I thought maybe he threw a bomb. Maybe he just learned how a grenade works. But all of a sudden, the ground from beneath me explodes. And as I see Menace ragdolling through the air, getting flung around by 50 different bugs, I land on the back ass of a Crassus bulk detonator, which is basically a living nuclear bomb. And it managed to not only dig up beneath us with its explosions, but it trapped us in like this giant tube-like structure of a cave, like almost like a genie lamp. And the whole time, what makes this really funny is he said, "This is why I'm losing hair, Toll! This is why I'm losing my fucking mind!" Like, he's screaming the whole time, and I'm screaming too, because I didn't expect a surprise bulk detonator, but here we are. So this last story happens with John. John came to my house to try out and play a game called Rain World. You might have heard about it. It is a relatively large AAA game, much like Red Dead Redemption, same file size. But in all seriousness, he wanted to try out Rain World. I'm like, alright, okay, I love Rain World. Let's fucking do this. Let's lock in. Yeah. I had Downpour. Watcher hadn't come out yet. It was like, I don't think Watcher was announced yet. I don't think he was. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we get in there, and I'm like, okay, dude, we're just gonna do the base campaign, but we're gonna be any slick cat you want. He wanted to be, I think, Rivulet, and I was Saint. Yeah, I was Saint. I like Saint's mobility. And we were going up towards Five Pebbles first, because I wanted to show him Five Pebbles. He doesn't know the lore of Rain World. I hadn't told him yet at the time. And I was like, okay, just hop on my back. We're doing like co-op, on couch co-op. And I kind of just carried him a lot. Whenever he couldn't get somewhere, I'd just bring him with me. And we ended up somehow ending up at Underhang. Now, I don't remember what led us to Underhang, but I was pretty stressed out because it had been about like 6 hours we were doing this. We were taking a whole day to do this. And he's like, okay, dude, yeah, I'm just going to let you bring me up. And I was like, okay, we're going to go up to the systems bus and try to get in there. So we start climbing up to the Underhang. I'm like flinging around, doing my best to stay alive. There's a lot of enemies, surprisingly. And all of a sudden, as we're getting towards the shelter, he jumps off my back. I said, what's wrong? He says, that lizard. I have to kill that lizard. Now, I spent about like half an hour getting us up here. I'm like, no. John, no. Get back here. John is like, you're not my boss, Mom. And he runs off, going back down the Underhang as I'm chasing him. Like, literally sprinting after him as fast as I can, trying to use my tongue to catch him. And he doesn't have a spear. He doesn't have a rock. He's just chasing an orange lizard, or I don't even remember if it was orange. Maybe it was white. Well, that lizard was just trying to fuck off because the rain was coming. And I was like, was it the rain that was coming? Something was happening. And I was like, dude, get your ass back here. And I chase him all the way back down to that part with the poles that you gotta like jump pole to pole from. And I'm just trying to keep him alive because it was at the time where you both had to be alive to use the shelter. And I am trying to catch him before he falls from the pole. I'm like using my tongue, like trying to like Spider-Man to him as he is like literally putting his life on the line for a fucking lizard. Pretty sure the lizard died by then. And I'm trying to catch him because he doesn't know how to do this platforming. And he's like, oh no, what am I going to do? It's almost as if someone put me in this situation. I'm like, John, get your fucking ass back here. Oh, damn it. Like, I'm screaming. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't want to do this again. And all of a sudden, he falls. He's like, oh my God, Toll. I can't believe you let this happen. You could have killed the lizard. We could have been eaten fine. But you didn't want to. I guess I gotta go home. I'm like, I cannot replicate the pain that was in my voice as I am literally just shaking him screaming. It's like that one clip of Gumball. It was the most successful rage bait that's ever happened to me. Because I put so much work to get his ass up there. And then he just fucking does that. So, I really wish I could replicate it. But yeah, we ended up losing that, and I just decided I will carry him up to the Underhang, and we did eventually get to the system bus. Is there a good ending to this story? Yes. Because after we met Five Pebbles, I told him, look at the flowers. Look at the flowers, John. As we're going down the wall, and he's like, what? I said, look at the flowers, John. He said, what flowers? And then I kicked him off the wall. It's so fucking funny. Anyway, yep, that's my stories. Thank you for being here.